Helen Mirren, yes, the legendary Dame Helen Mirren, completely dismantled Meghan Markle in a way that no one expected, and honestly, it was brutal. It wasn't loud, it wasn't over the top, it was just that quiet, deadly kind of critique that hits harder than any dramatic meltdown. And here's the kicker, this all happened right after photos surfaced showing Meghan looking terrified, literally terrified, of losing her royal title, and that fear? Well, it wasn't unfounded, because this was all happening just after Prince Andrew's titles and privileges were stripped away by King Charles. Now, the timing of this couldn't have been more perfect, and Mirren, she seized it flawlessly, from the moment Helen appeared on stage. You could feel the tension. You could sense that she wasn't going to sugarcoat anything. The segment was meant to be lighthearted, discussing modern royalty and how the younger generation navigates public life, but Helen Mirren has this way of commanding a room without even trying, and when she spoke, everyone listened. She made a comment that seemed casual at first, something along the lines of, "Some people think acting royal is the same as being royal, it's not." Now, if you're watching closely, and if you know the context, you instantly understand who that's about. The studio audience didn't need a hint. You could see the camera cut to Meghan's face on the screen behind her. And you could almost hear the collective gasp in the room. It was subtle, but the implication was clear, and the way Helen delivered it? Cold. Surgical. Perfect. What made this even more fascinating is the timing with those photos. Meghan had been spotted earlier that day leaving a high-profile meeting in Los Angeles, and the pictures went viral almost immediately. She looked tense, almost anxious, constantly checking her phone, and clutching her belongings like she was bracing herself for bad news. And why wouldn't she be? News had just broken about Andrew losing his royal privileges, something many people now see as a precedent. The optics were undeniable. Meghan's fear looked real, and suddenly Helen's comment wasn't just a joke or a casual critique, it felt like she was publicly validating what the photos were already telling the world. Meghan was terrified of what might be coming next. And we all know, in the royal context, fear is never just personal. It's political. It's public. And in Meghan's case, it's becoming painfully visible. People online described it as electric, uncomfortable, even a little shocking. Social media clips of the moment went viral in a matter of minutes. Within hours, people were debating on Twitter and Instagram whether Helen had crossed a line or if Meghan had finally gotten the wake-up call she deserved. Comments ranged from, "Helen Mirren just did in 2 sentences what the entire British press couldn't do in 5 years," to, "Finally, someone with class called her out for what everyone's been thinking." And the truth is, the public is really starting to notice that Meghan's public image and the way she presents herself are increasingly at odds with how royalty actually behaves. People are tired of the theatrics, the victim narrative, and this moment on Graham Norton made all of that painfully clear. Helen's critique didn't stop there. She went further and brought up what really separates someone who is truly royal from someone who only pretends to be. She praised the late Queen for her humility, her commitment to duty, and her ability to command respect without ever needing to demand it. Then she added a pointed remark about how some people wear crowns only for attention, not for responsibility. Boom. Subtle, but devastating. And remember, this was live television. There was nowhere for Meghan to hide. Even Graham Norton, the host, tried to lighten the mood with his humor, but you could tell the tension had shifted. The audience was leaning in, people at home were glued to their screens, and suddenly Meghan's carefully crafted persona looked brittle, fragile, and maybe even a little desperate. What's fascinating is that industry insiders are backing Mirren on this. According to several British sources, people in Hollywood and in royal circles alike applauded her courage. They've been observing Meghan for years, they've been watching her maneuver through the media landscape, and they reportedly said, "Finally, someone said out loud what we've all been thinking." One London producer even called it a masterclass in dignity, stating that Helen demonstrated what Meghan has consistently failed to grasp: respect is earned, not demanded. And when you consider the context, Meghan's anxiety over royal titles, the way she positions herself in the public eye, and the backlash from both the UK and the US media, it makes total sense why Helen's words struck like a lightning bolt. Now, for those wondering if Meghan's fear is just paranoia, palace insiders confirm that her concern is not unfounded.